My first experience in the district was going to Argentine, at that time, Argentine Junior Senior High School. And so we're talking about the early 70s, and as a 7th grader. And so I compare the two, but having had an early Catholic experience of private education, then to going into the public school system. And I think what really hit me was just the level of opportunity as it related to classes, the opportunity to interact with other kids from other neighborhoods. So it took me out from being in one exclusive kind of neighborhood to a little bit larger neighborhood. So when I look back, I think it was the opportunity to start to really engage in communication with other kids from other cultures, from other socioeconomics. So you started to see a different kind of mindset, different ideas, different opinions. And so that was always kind of a interesting venue for us. And then you had these teachers who oftentimes were very interested in trying to keep what I would consider to be a very diverse classroom, which sometimes can be a challenge to teachers, but I saw these teachers who really saw an interest in who we were, number one, as students, and then accepted who we were culturally. And so I really saw a very early experience, teachers who were really committed. And so they've made this decision to be in these schools. They're very early in their careers. And I saw a real interest in teachers that really wanted to coach you along, more than just teach you, but coach you, really mentor you along the educational process at a very young age. Today I'm a program officer at the Healthcare Foundation of Greater Kansas City. So I am one of those very lucky people who gets to decide how someone else's money gets invested back into address societal needs. So it's a really exciting place to be. And so I like my job because I'm working in my backyard. This is the heart of where I grew up, and did so much to set me up as to who I am today. So the opportunity to actually work in Kansas City in neighborhoods that I'm very familiar with creates a different level, in my opinion, understanding about the nature of the work versus being somebody who just reads about communities and decides, oh, this is a good idea. I did go in the for-profit sector for a couple of years, and there was just something about it. Yeah, I went in, would do my work, but didn't feel like I was really being able to say to myself, what difference am I making in my city, in my town? And so I really gravitated towards saying, okay, I need to work in the nonprofit field. That's where I feel that I can, at the end of the day, feel that everything that's been given to me, I can go ahead and start to really use some of those skills at a very young age. And the opportunity presented itself to work in refugee resettlement, which is something I did, which I consider my first start into the nonprofit sector, being able to help people make that transition into this country to be successful and productive members of our society. As we often say, just self-sufficient. If we can get people to be self-sufficient, that in itself sets people into the right path for success. I worked there as a staff specialist originally, and there was a small group. So when you look at this small staff and you look at this incredible opportunity that Mr. Kaufman gave young people to graduate from your class, and I'll send you to the college of your choice. And so the idea is such an incredible opportunity, yet it presents huge amount of challenges, which Mr. Kaufman recognized very early. You can offer these young people these great opportunities, but in the end, they're still going to need individuals who are going to dedicate themselves to guiding them along the process, to mentor them. And so what's exciting today, looking back now, is that I will run into my Project Choice kids, and they're professional adults now. They're pushing 40, and they're not kids, but we still call them kids. And to see how they now have taken what was given to them and are building upon some of the things that we as Project Choice staff guided them with, and now they're in turn, they're parents, they're working for different nonprofits. The idea of success, when we thought about success, get one of these Project Choice students to get them to graduate from high school. That was the goal. Well, I always say, looking back now, the goal was really, how do we give them the kind of skills to graduate? But then what is the ramification upon their children? When I have one of my students find me on Facebook. And then we engage in this conversation over the phone, not about him, but about his daughter, because he wanted to talk to me about how could he get a scholarship for his daughter who was graduating in the top 10% of her graduating high school. And so that's a really good feel-good moment, because you start to see that change in that family that wouldn't have happened without the vision and largesse that Mr. Kaufman presented in Kansas City.